Coronaviruses are a group of viruses that cause diseases in animals and birds. Animals and birds. That include diarrhea in cows and pigs and upper respiratory disease in chickens. In humans, the virus causes respiratory infections, which are often mild, but in rare cases potentially lethal. You see that? So it's basically in animals, gets to us. But here it says, which are often mild, but in rare cases are potentially lethal. I just wondered what everybody thought about this. I myself am not feeling very well today myself. I don't know what we call it. I would say it's almost like I've had my head crushed, but I haven't at the same time, if you know what I mean. But I just wondered what everybody thought of this.
So yeah, this is the street outside. 3 nights ago, this was lit up with lights. The doors of all the restaurants were open. You know, these cars have arrived this evening. I'm not sure where from, but last night this street was absolutely empty, and you can see, you know, there's nobody walking around on the street. Absolutely nobody. I think a lot of the hysteria yesterday with what happened with the lockdown also came from people spreading rumours online, and so they did, you know, the fear was there. But, you know, I think a lot of people's attitude have sort of calmed a little bit, and they've realised that, you know, that the government are now trying to handle it as best as they can, and that, you know, people are just staying indoors because they know that that's the best thing to do, and only going out when they absolutely need to for food or whatever it might be. And this street is normally hustling and bustling, and you can hear people out here cooking, frying things.
The way I feel about this is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of hype. Not much the main thing here. If this is supposed to be the main news.
Welcome to the programme. Beijing has cancelled all major public events for the Lunar New Year, even closing the iconic tourist spot off the Forbidden City as authorities try to contain the spread of the new coronavirus. Now, this comes as 3 Chinese cities have now been quarantined. We know at least 18 people who were infected have died from complications, and there are more than 500 people with confirmed cases. It's also spreading abroad. Let's take a look. China has confirmed actually its first death outside of Hubei province, where the outbreak began. The city of Wuhan, that's already in lockdown, and the authorities have suspended planes and trains in and out of the city, which is home to 11 million people. Now these cities of Huanggang and also of Ezhou, with a combined population of 8.5 million, they've also suspended all transport operations. Now you can take a look here. This is the general layout of Wuhan, and it's a city where the virus originated, actually in a market that was selling live animals for food. The World Health Organization, they have been holding a second day of talks in Geneva. Let's hear from their Director General.
This is, though, an emergency in China, but it has not yet become a global health emergency.
I myself don't have some of the symptoms, by the way, so don't worry, I'm not gonna clog it right now. But yeah, I just wondered what everybody's thoughts were to this virus now being unleashed all over the news, and now it's stopped everybody doing this and doing that. It's had quite a few views. Look at the views. Yes, quite a few views there. Yes. Something real or something frightening?
So what do we know about this virus? Well, it is understood to be a new strain of coronavirus, not previously identified in humans. It affects the lungs, and symptoms start with a fever and a cough, which can progress to shortness of breath and breathing difficulties. The SARS virus, you might remember, severe acute respiratory syndrome, that killed nearly 800 people globally. That was in the early 2000s. That was also a coronavirus, as is the common cold.
There doesn't really seem to be very much news. There's a lot of hype. And, yeah, obviously the news wants to put the news out, so that's what's happening with this coronavirus. What's your thoughts about it? Just sounds like some horrible, scary, nasty thing which is now on the lurg. on the lurg. Yeah, what does everybody else think about it?
And understanding how the virus transmits between people is one of the outstanding questions in this outbreak. Now, the new strain of the coronavirus is believed to have originated, I mentioned the market, this is it here, in Wuhan, through illegal transactions of wild animals. There are some suggestions that it even originated in snakes.
So it basically going out in most things, because snakes and things are extremely important in these countries. In snakes, what else has it been put in? Not very good, is it, that this is being done to the humans? Always another country that's got to start it. I wonder if we were there, whether it would be going on this big worldwide, how did they manage to get all this done within all this is happening, yet we don't really know anything about it till it gets to this stage?
Now, Wuhan is actually a place that is such an important centre. It's the high-speed passenger train network. It's one of the main cities and one of the main reasons that the virus has been able to spread so quickly. Let's take a look here. You have the city, and then just a few hours by train you begin to go to some of the most populous, most important cities. It's also one of the most important ports along China's Yangtze River. There's ships connecting the city to Shanghai, as you can see, also.
As of this morning, there have been 571 cases confirmed by the Chinese government, and 17 people are reported to have died of this new strain of respiratory illness. All the fatalities have so far been contained to mainland China. However, this is a rapidly developing situation, and the number of deaths and the number of cases is likely to be higher than those that have been confirmed so far, and I expect them to rise further.
Coronaviruses are a group of viruses that cause diseases in animals and birds. Animals and birds. That include diarrhea in cows and pigs and upper respiratory disease in chickens. In humans, the virus causes respiratory infections, which are often mild, but in rare cases potentially lethal. You see that? So it's basically in animals, gets to us. But here it says, which are often mild, but in rare cases are potentially lethal.